Getting into round 2, we're here. We're looking at these prospects. Jake, as our newest co-host, start us off with your second round considerations.
Yeah, I'm going to piss Mike off right away. Bashal Tutin absolutely has to be up there. I get what everybody's saying, right? He fumbles a lot. He doesn't always pick the right holes.
That's fine.
There's not a running back in this class with more explosive play upside than him. Physical talent, get him in a decent offensive line. Just tell him, hey, like if we didn't have Devon Achane in Miami and Tutin got drafted by Miami, everybody would be arguing for him. I shouldn't say everybody. A lot of people would be arguing for him up at running back 2, just off of landing spot alone. He's more landing spot dependent for me. But once we're in these tier of players, I much rather target high athletic upside than floor. If I miss on, a mid-second, I don't really care. I'd rather just take the guy who could become something great, even if he does have a ton of flaws. And there's just simply no denying his athletic profile. It's elite.
Resident Hokie fan. If you want a small, speedy guy who sucks at catching the pass and can't pass pro, that's Tutin. The athletic profile is exceptional. I do think he is in second round consideration. I see the ceiling, but I also see the floor, and it is low, brother. So this is the highest range of outcome guy outside of Travis Hunter in the draft for me. I'm rooting for him, but I'm scared.
I agree. But like I said, this is where I'm not taking shots like this with premium draft capital. For me, premium draft capital kind of ends after like 109, 110, depending on the class in most cases.
Just having fun.
Yeah. Like literally, if we think back to, what was that? Like the Zach Charbonnet class, it basically was like it hit 108 and then it was like, take the running back you like.
Very fair.
All right, Mike, next on the list, who are you going to put in this second round consideration?
Oh, Lordy. I'll just go ahead and take the exact opposite version of running back. Cam Scattaboo, however you want to say it. Dude, he's just good at football. He's not the fastest boy in the world. He's not going to have 90-yard runs in the NFL. But he can handle a workload if he ends up in a situation where they need him to be the first and second down grinder. I see the goal line vision. I also he can catch passes. He can pass pro. He pass pros with just his helmet, but he can. There are things to like in his game that I can see a path to relevance. It could be just a bunch of dump off passes, the James Connors of the world, where he ends up scoring a bunch of fantasy points, but doesn't look sexy doing it.
Sweet. Appreciate that. I'm going to go with the tight end once again. And we're going to go Elijah Arroyo.
Oh, brother.
That's the wrong third tight end.
Oh, brother.
Oh, no. Okay.
Already?
Why? No, come on. Tell me why.
For the wrong tight end or already this early?
No, wrong tight end, Jake.
Oh.
Harold Fannin is better.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I'm going to bounce.
Honey. We got some issues here. No, Elijah Arroyo is the weapon that you want at tight end for fantasy football, especially if you're talking about a league with no premium. If you're talking about a league with a 0.25 premium, you want the guys that are going to be able to play tight end, that are going to be able to have that breakout game where they have 2 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown. That's Elijah Arroyo. It can convince me the athleticism isn't there. Hearing no things because, I'm leading this show right now. So we're going to move on and say, Jake, you can go. And you're not allowed to talk about Elijah Arroyo anymore. No slanders allowed.
All right, that's fine. I'll pick the real tight end 3 in the class, Harold Fannin. He No, I like Arroyo too. I just think you can't deny what Fannin did last year. One of the most prolific receiving seasons we've ever seen out of a college tight end. I understand people want to knock on his athleticism, blah, blah, blah. He falls in a tier of athleticism that's still very good in terms of NFL success. His RAS score is over 7. He's still a top 30 percentile tight end we've ever seen athletically. He's my guy. He's my guy at the position. Actually, he's not my guy at the position. There's one other guy who's my guy at the position, but I digress.
Jake, I love you, so I'm not going to try to move him out, but I am going to present something to our listeners and to you. Is he truly a tight end at the next level? Can he play the Y?
I don't see why he can't.
He can't block.
That's fine. Travis Kelce doesn't have to block anymore.
Is he Travis Kelce?
No.
Is he Evan Ingram?
I think he's close.
I think he's closer to Isaiah likely than anybody else, and like maybe that's what he ends up doing, and that's fantastic. I don't see the path where he is ever a top 12 fantasy tight end. With Arroyo, I could see a Njoku type breakout. He ends up going to the right team. Size, athleticism, all of those fun, sexy things. I think Fannin is too much of a tweener, and he's not a better receiver than receivers, and he's not a good enough tight end to play tight end. His NFL role scares me, which is why I'm probably the biggest Fannin hater out here, but that's fine.
I get it. I disagree, but I get it.
But he's cool. That's why I picked a cool picture of him hurdling a dude.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, let's get that disgusting taste out of our mouth and move on over here with a better player.
Right. Yep.
Be taking with your second round picks.
I'm just going to start the fun journey that I have. Did I even upload a picture of him? I'm looking for Dylan Sampson, but while I'm looking, let's go ahead and throw up another one of my guys, DJ Giddens. Look, it's the second round of your draft. Pick the running backs with good measurables. Pick the running backs with good production profiles. There's an unholy amount of them in this class. I just think DJ Giddens has the sauce, and there's a group of running backs that I think can play. Draft capital and landing spot will separate them for me.
I really appreciate you doing that, Mike, because I'm going to very quickly add Dylan Sampson to the board here.
Oh, let me find him. But
guess who I was going to add next?
Where is he?
All right, so Dylan Sampson, he got plenty of exposure at Tennessee. Many people saw him, which I'm a big believer that bias gets formed from any kind of narrative from college. Dylan Sampson had that narrative. He was at Tennessee. The team loved him. He's a great culture fit for whatever team he ends up being on, which tells me that he should be able to stick around the league for a very long time. Pair that with the fact that multiple offensive linemen for Tennessee said that he's better than Jalen Wright. Take that for what you may. But, Mike, we talked about this previously with Dylan Sampson. His short yardage game, he knows how to find a hole. He knows how to get skinny through it. He knows how to pick up first downs in short yardage situations. So people that knock his size, just go look at the tape. He's still picking up those first downs even in short yardage.
The funniest short yardage back in NCAA last year, just squeaking past. It almost looked like Deuce Vaughn, but like bigger, where he was just defenders would lose him as he hid behind his guards. Big fan.
Dog.
All right, Jake.
We got to get Trey Harris in here. I mean, we have to.
Very fair.
Elite athlete, solid productive season with the help of Jackson Dart. Depending on where Dart gets drafted, Harris is going to fall in a beautiful range to be a complimentary pick to just give Jackson Dart a guy he knows, a guy he likes, and he's got the skill set to back it up. It wouldn't surprise me to see Harris as an early second round pick, especially if the other three wide receivers we've kind of really dove in on jump up into the first round again.
No complaints. But I'm going to, real quick, I think it's my turn. I'm going to put the real wide receiver 6 in here. Alec Ayomanor, dog.
Love him too.
Run blocks like a freaking hoss. Put 200 yards up on Travis Hunter. I know Hunter was hurt, but it's still sick. If you want a receiver that can take over a game, it's Ayomanor. I just wish he did it more often.
Valid.
All right. Yeah, I'm probably about to get a lot of flack for this pick.
Oh, brother.
Yep. All right, Mike. Yeah, be prepared. We're going to go with Jalen Milroe because at this point, if you say very end of the second, you're giving me a quarterback that has a potential to start in 2 seasons after sitting on my taxi squad for a little bit, and has a potential to run for over 900 yards. Like, he has elite athleticism at the quarterback position. We saw what Justin Fields did as a runner. He is nowhere near the passer that Justin Fields is. And we've seen what the NFL does to Justin Fields. He's getting another shot, but Jalen Milroe will have multiple seasons, hopefully, to be able to grow, to be able to work on his footwork, to be able to work on his decision-making. Can an NFL coaching staff be able to fix some of the things in the passing game to make him a slightly below average passer where his elite rushing game will be able to make him fantasy viable?
Name 2 teams he can go to that he will start.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want him to start year 1, Mike.
Name 2 teams he'll start in 2026.
Put him on the Steelers. The Rams.
Rams got to kind of be up there.
The Rams would be very fun.
It would be a very fun offense, would it not?
I think McVay would hate him.
Yeah.
I would love to see him go to New York with a 3rd-round pick, go to New York or something like that.
Which one? The Jets, Giants, or Bills?
The Giants.
Okay.
I was thinking the Jets, actually.
Study under Justin Fields, learn from the 32nd best passer in the league.
Hey, y'all know how I feel about Justin Fields. You bet what?
Justin Fields is mentioned.
I love it.
But yeah, no, I support it. Landing spot dependent, draft capital dependent. The upside is crazy. This is Malik Willis part 2. Like, maybe he starts and it's sick.
I mean, Malik Willis was a top 10 quarterback for 1 week last year. Was he not?
It was sick.
It felt sick to draft him too. Like you felt sick doing it, which is how I feel about Milroe. But I'm going to get outvoted here. He would fall under names to know for me. That's how little I trust the ability of NFL teams to properly fix quarterback play. Yeah. But that's another tirade for another episode.
All right, Jake. Anybody else to add to this tier?
Yep, I got to stick with my elite athletic guys. Jalen Noel's got to be here too. Hot take. I think the most common comp we get for Jalen Noel, athletic-wise, size-wise, skill set-wise, is Jaden Reed. I think Jalen Noel is better as a prospect than Jaden Reed was.
Yep. I support it. I
would take Jalen Noel over Cam Scatabo, personally.
I don't hate that.
Scatabo, sorry. Apologies.
You know, the announcers in college football called it Scatabo, and now everybody's saying Scatabo. It's confusing. I'm going to throw Higgins up there, too, while we're talking. So somebody presented this on Twitter. I think it was like Hayden Winks at Underdog. Shout out. I know you're listening, Hayden. But so are Noel and Higgins better prospects than Leggett and Keon Coleman?
Easily.
They went 32 and 33 last year.
I think they're better than Pearsall, who went in the first round.
That's what I'm saying. So I think we are severely underrating these two cats. And I think they're gonna have a bit of a rise. I know that I haven't been the biggest guy on the two of them, but
there you go, Mike.
I do. When it was presented to me that way, I do think they are better than all three of those prospects. I like the running backs more, but I see the vision.
My argument for this wide receiver group has always been NFL teams are going to love them, and we're going to have to like them because of it.
That's a great seg.
All right, Mike. Keep us rolling here. Anybody else to add to the tier?
Oh, baby. I have like 19 more running backs. I would like to put another running back on up there. I finally found Dylan Sampson since he was buried. I would like to put Damian Martinez forward. I'm open to the idea of pushing him back. I get it. But can play ball, prototypical size, back-to-back 1,000 yards rushing in two very different schemes. I see the vision. And with a running back like this, he goes to the right spot. he could be a workhorse. He could also just be a backup that's very good. And I'm okay taking a backup that's very good with my, 208, 209. Like, go get you a handcuff, throw him at the bottom of your 45-player bench, and just have a player you can start when the starter gets hurt.
He's young, more explosive Brian Robinson.
That's sick.
Yeah. Brian Robinson was a top 6 running back for like the first 7 weeks of the year.
And then he rolled his ankle, and I think Brian Robinson's due for a big bounce back. Another episode. Let's roll.
All right. I'm done with my second round players. So, Jake, if you have anybody else that you would like to add, be my guest.
Landing spot dependent. I still really like Devin Neal.
I support it.
That's all I'm going to say about that. It's landing spot dependent. I don't think there's a lot of jobs that he can take year one, but I think he can work in effectively as a second back with the potential of being the guy in a year or two.
Okay. Mike, anybody else to add?
Oh, man. My heart wants to put in a couple of people. I'm just going to say 2 names and give me your initial thoughts. These are 2 of the most divisive names in wide receivers in the draft. Jack Besh and Jalen Royals.
Thirds.
Seconds.
We're putting them in the second round. It's 2-3, baby. But I think that effectively closes out the tier. Again, the wide receivers are going to be where are they going? What's the opportunity they have in front of them? The running backs, you'll be able to sort them by that, but all of them are good enough prospect profiles. I'm comfortable taking them in the second round, even if it's just via handcuff.
Well, cool. Appreciate that. That helps to fill out our second round. Mike, can you do that second round recap for us? Just go over for everybody listening who all's in that tier.
Yeah, for you audio only guys, first of all, get off of Spotify, get off of Apple, come on over to the YouTube. It's YouTube.com/FFRPG. Too easy. Hit like, hit subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. But we have in second round consideration Bayshal Tootin, Cam Scattaboo, Elijah Arroyo, and Harold Fannin, the 2 tight ends that everyone will fight about. DJ Giddens, Dylan Sampson, Trey Harris, Elike Manor, Jalen Milroe, Vomit, Jalen Knoll, Jaden Higgins, Damian Martinez, Devin Neal, and then Jack Besh and Jalen Royals. There's a lot of names in there that we can be really excited about. I have a question for the 2 of you. Are there any of these names that you think could pop into late first consideration and jump over some of those guys?
Yeah, if a running back gets a crazy landing spot, that's going to push. You're talking into the second round, Mike. No?
Oh, I'm saying let's say Jalen Milroe goes 35 to the Giants, and it's Jameis, Russ, and Milroe.
Okay, whatever. But Cam Scattaboo is the running back that people love. They saw the run in the college football playoffs. If he gets decent draft capital, meaning round 2, early round 3 draft capital, people are going to push him up into that first round.
Cool.
Yeah. I would say either of the tight ends, either Fannin or Arroyo, I think could get up there if they end up being late first. And if Knoll or Trey Harris end up early second of the actual NFL draft, I think we're going to have a lot of conversations about them. It's like how Pearsall snuck up out of nowhere.
Yep. The Lad McConkey versus Ricky Pearsall conversations.
So dumb. I'll fight anybody on that.
Dads for Lad. Let's roll.
Well, great. Love that second round debate. That was fantastic.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Football RPG Podcast. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to check out written content, head over to lastwordonsports.com.
Don't let the goblins get you.